bright high, and ambitions are low, and resentment right high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Why is this bedroom so cold? You turn away on your side. Is my timing not flawed? Our respect runs so right. Yet there's still this appeal that we've kept you alive. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Cry out in your sleep, all my failings exposed. There's a taste in my mouth as desperation takes hold. Just that something so good just can't function no more. Love will tear us apart again. 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 Check out Sonata Like Immersions or subscribe to be the first to see them every week. What up, Twitch? What up, Ben? What up, Cosmic? What up, Tariff? What up, bots? What up, lurkers? What up, Stampy? What up, tiny people in my chatterino? It's your boy. It's your boy. Happy Economic Setback Wednesday. Oh. The song was originally I might have even generated the lyrics using Udio as part of that thing. It's been a long time. I don't actually recall. But that version, and he's out. That version was generated with Suno, and there have actually been a couple different versions of the theme song. There's two songs that play every intro, and the first one, in that case, the first one is a cover song using AI to replicate my voice. Old Lobster created that song, and then the other one is created with Suno. So, I'm going to talk today between two people who know me: John Hennessy, chairman of the board of Alphabet, and Pat Gelsinger, recent CEO of Intel, where I worked. Very interesting discussion. No, that's awesome. That's awesome, Tariff. Intel laid off 20% of its workforce after laying off 15%. Yes. What up, Peter? Yes. But definitely no AI fucking with people's jobs. Sure, Tariff, but I don't think that's actually in anyone's forecast for what we're gonna do. Morning, Old Lobster. Thank you again for the gift sub to Redolent Thought. It's definitely one of those channels that I hate when I don't have a sub to. All right. We've got 54 minutes. Is AI really at the point to start taking jobs? What up, Fire Resist? So, what AI is doing is AI is capable of taking tasks, right? And it depends on the nature of the business that you're into. If you have, it's whether or not your business has a saturation point. If you have a business in which you can always use more output, then you don't necessarily have to get rid of people to improve your profits. You can just do more work, right? But if your business is such where you have a saturation point, like you only have so many people who want what you're creating, then any automation efficiencies are going to reduce the worker count. Say you have 10 people and the AI can do 20%, the automation can do 20% of the tasks that those 10 people can do. Well, then to maintain that same kind of work to employee ratio, you only actually need 8 employees. And then once you get rid of 2 employees, then that money can be used either for investment in your business or it can be used for profits. What up, Nick? Some simpler copywriting, simpler illustrations, translations. Those are some things. But it can be difficult to really appreciate what you can do with the um with the automation as it currently exists. You start finding use cases. Again, my friend who works for the Amazon company, or the Amazon sales company, they use automation all the time. Those are tasks that would have had to have been done by another person. You know what I mean? Oh, I appreciate that, Tariff. I will hit you up after stream. Uh GDP down 0.3% annualized his first 3 months already. Yeah. And no, we don't. We don't, Cosmic. And then yeah, again, some businesses, some tasks are going to be more easily replaced than others, right? Like customer service, right? Customer service is a big one. Rufus, for whatever percentage of things that Rufus might fail at, like other people seem to. Rufus is the AI chatbot that Amazon uses. My very limited experience with Rufus is it has done everything I could want from a customer service experience. So that's a job that would have been done by a human being that is now being done by automation. You're not wrong, Cosmic. All right, let us do some news. Let us do some news. Speaking to the how capable is AI point, OpenAI's O3 is less AGI than originally measured from Decoder. A recent analysis by the ARC Prize Foundation finds that OpenAI's O3 model delivers significantly weaker results on standardized reasoning benchmarks than its previously tested O3 preview version. And this is something like, why? What happened here? Right? What happened here? Because ARC, right? The ARC AGI benchmark tested the O3 preview and it did what it did. But now the new one, the release model isn't operating on that level. I'm not sure if they're going to get to telling us why in this, but I think that that's an interesting thing. What did they do? What did you do? How did you break your toy? ARC Prize Foundation, a nonprofit group focused on AI evaluation, uses open benchmarks like ARC AGI to highlight the gap between human reasoning and current artificial intelligence systems. Each evaluation aims to clarify the current state of the field. The ARC AGI benchmark is structured to test symbolic reasoning, multi step composition, and context dependent rule application. Skills that humans often demonstrate without special training, but which AI models only perform to a limited extent. The analysis assessed performance at low, medium, and high reasoning levels, which vary the depth of model reasoning. Low prioritizes speed and minimal token usage, while high is intended to encourage more comprehensive problem solving. For this study, two models, O3 and O4 Mini, were tested at all three reasoning levels on 740 tasks, producing 4,400 data points. What up, Michael? Speaking of AI, I hope you're satisfied with the monster you have created. I've been putting roughly 10 to 20 articles in the Discord per day, sometimes more. I am. I do appreciate it. I would also recommend that all of you join the Discord and take a look at the articles that Michael is putting in there, because Michael has a much broader range of articles than I can possibly fit into my stream. So I have to pick and choose what it is that I am going to put on the show. And there's a bunch of stuff, especially if you have, particular areas of interest, you might find articles that appeal to you. Each of the articles that Michael has put in there has a little snippet above it that tells you basically what the article is about, making it much easier to refine your search. So, again, thank you to Michael for that. And, there's way more information than I can get to. What up, Larry? Home of the PayPal Mafia. Don't get PayPal whacked. Yeah, Tariff. It'd be nice to have solid data to work with, wouldn't it? Instead, everyone gets to speculate and utilize the data points that fit their narrative the best. And I prefer stuff that's more solid. According to the ARC Prize Foundation, O3 achieved 41% accuracy, low compute, and 53% medium compute on ARC AGI 1. The smaller O4 Mini reached 21% low compute and 42% medium compute. On the more challenging ARC AGI 2 benchmark, both current models struggled considerably, scoring below 3% accuracy. At higher reasoning levels, both models failed to complete many tasks. The analysis also observed that models tended to answer tasks they could solve more easily while leaving more difficult tasks unanswered. Assessing only the successful responses would distort the actual performance, so these partial results were excluded from official leaderboards. It's another interesting, I'm I'm wondering if they make the model of aware, and if making the model aware has any bearing on its performance of that, right? Like of its the fact that you are going to get scored based on the number of um questions that there are in total, and you need to answer as many of them as possible? Or is it some aspect of the prompt that it causes it to focus on answering the questions that it can answer easily and quickly to, potentially increase the number of questions it can answer? The data shows that higher reasoning effort does not guarantee better results, but often results only in higher costs. In particular, O3 High consumes significantly more tokens without achieving a corresponding gain in accuracy for simpler tasks. This raises questions about the scalability of the current approach of chain of thought reasoning. Rupert of the Globus Show, exactly. For cost sensitive applications, the ARC Prize Foundation advises using O3 Medium as the default setting. A high reasoning mode is only recommended when maximum accuracy is needed and cost is less important. There's no compelling reason to use low if you care about accuracy. Foundation also noted that as model performance advances, efficiency, how quickly and expensively and with minimal token usage a model can solve problems, becomes the primary differentiator. In this regard, O4 Mini is notable. It achieves 21% accuracy on Arc AGI 1 at a cost of 5 cents per task, while older models like O1 Pro require roughly $11 per task for comparable results. The current O3 release diverges substantially from the O3 preview version tested in December. At that time, O3 Preview scored 76% low compute and 88% high compute on Arc AGI 1 text mode, while the released O3 model now delivers 41 and 53% respectively. OpenAI confirmed to Arc that the production O3 model differs from the preview version in several key ways. The company explained that the released model has a different architecture, is an overall smaller model, operates multimodally, handling both text and image inputs, and uses fewer computational resources than the preview version. Regarding training data, OpenAI states that the training of O3 Preview covered 75% of the Arc AGI 1 dataset. For the released model, it says it was not trained directly on Arc AGI data, not even on the training dataset. However, it is possible that the model was indirectly exposed to the benchmark through its public availability. The released O3 model has also been refined for chat and product use cases, which, according to ArcPrize, results in both advantages and disadvantages on the benchmark. These differences underscore that benchmark results, especially for unreleased AI models, should be viewed with caution. So, we'll see how this continues to develop. Limited time, save 25%. From MIT. We need to start thinking of AI as normal. As technologists frame AI as either utopian or dystopian, two researchers offer a third option. Right now, despite its ubiquity, AI is seen as anything but a normal technology. There's talk of AI systems that will soon merit the term superintelligence, and the former CEO of Google recently suggested we control AI models the way we control uranium and other weapons, nuclear weapons materials. Anthropic is dedicating time and money to study AI welfare, including what rights AI models may be entitled to. Normalopian. Meanwhile, such models are moving into disciplines that feel distinctly human, from making music to providing therapy. 700 views. Very nice, Cosmic. Well done. Well done. No wonder that anyone pondering AI's future tends to fall into either a utopian or dystopian camp. While OpenAI's Sam Altman muses that AI's impact will feel more like the Renaissance than the Industrial Revolution, over half of Americans are more concerned than excited about AI's future. That half includes a few friends of mine who at a party recently speculated whether AI resistant communities might emerge. Modern day Mennonites carving out spaces where AI is limited by choice, not by necessity. So, against this backdrop, a recent essay by two AI researchers at Princeton felt quite provocative. Oh, it's those guys. Oh, it's these fucking guys. Arvind Narayanan, I always mess up his name, and I apologize, who directs the university's Center for Information Technology Policy, and doctoral candidate Sayesh Kapoor wrote a 40-page plea for everyone to calm down and think of AI as normal technology. These are the guys who wrote AI Snake Oil. This runs opposite of the common tendency to treat it akin to a separate species, a highly autonomous, potentially super intelligent entity. Instead, according to the researchers, AI is a general purpose technology whose application might be better compared to the drawn out adoption of electricity or the internet than to nuclear weapons, though they concede that this is in some ways a flawed analogy. The core point, Kapoor says, is that we need to start differentiating between the rapid development of AI methods, the flashy and impressive displays of what AI can do in the lab, and what comes from the actual applications of AI, which in historical examples of other technologies lag behind by decades. Much of the discussion of AI societal impacts ignores the process of adoption and expects societal impacts to occur at the speed of technological development. In other words, the adoption of useful artificial intelligence, in his view, will be less of a tsunami and more of a trickle. We shall see. In the essay, the pair makes some other break.
You will be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war.
James, 28 months. I thought this was a grilling channel talking about AI. I mean, it could be, right? When the bubble bursts and everything falls down, it'll be me and Johnny Prophet out here on the grilling channel. AGI. Automated grilling intelligence. That's a 1. Yeah, A1. Did I say AI? Did I fail you? That's it. Dream over. Good night, everybody. All right. What up, Jenny Burns? Yeah, well, I haven't seen the video. I was hanging out with friends playing board games when yeah when the article came across my feed, and it was like, oh my god. Oh, he's just I the level of there's a saying, right? That you shouldn't attribute to malice what incompetence can explain. Um and at the same time, I'm feeling like, because Justin said it the other day, and I was like, well, at a certain point, can't ignorance become malicious, right? Can't incompetence become malicious? Like they're ignorant on purpose. Anyways, exclamation point mushroom. Support the channel. Support my existential dread. In the essay, the pair make some other bracing arguments. Terms like superintelligence are so incoherent and speculative that we shouldn't use them. AI won't automate everything, but will birth a category of human labor that monitors, verifies, and supervises AI. Okay, this is just stupid. I'm going to break this down one by one, but I'm going to read the rest of the paragraph.
And we should focus more on AI's likelihood to worsen current problems in society than the possibility of it creating new ones. What up, Pharaoh? Okay, so from the top, there's 3 points here. First, super intelligent terms like super intelligence are so incoherent and speculative that we shouldn't use them. First of all, fuck you. But second of all, that means you just didn't read the material. The best explanation of super intelligence is from the book Super Intelligence by Nick Bostrom. You should read it, especially if you're a big science guy, AI guy. You should read it. Now, if other people don't use the word in the way that it was like originally coined or is the best description of, etc., etc., that is not the fault of the term. That's the fault, as usual, of the people, right? Shared definitions are tremendously beneficial. We should use shared definitions. AI won't automate everything, but will birth a category of human labor that monitors, verifies, and supervises AI. So why is this stupid? What up, trans women? CEO of Trans Women. Why is this stupid? It has to do. Remember those percentages I was talking about before when it comes to your job and automate AI automating tasks. How many people, let's say, I mean, just wild speculative arbitrary numbers, right? Let's say AI automates 50,000 jobs. How many of those 50,000 people need to be used to monitor, verify, and supervise the AI, especially as the AI continues to improve and, exceeds beyond the needs to supervise it for the minutia of tasks, right? Think about it in the context of when you trained somebody at a job. You had a job, they assigned you to train the new guy, girl, NB, what have you, the new person. They assigned you to train the new person, you train the new person. Day one, you needed to like monitor literally everything they do, right? Because you don't know what they know. You don't know if they're blowing smoke up your ass. You have to pay attention to everything they do. But as time goes on and as they get better, you monitor their skills less and less. And eventually, you don't monitor them at all. So, how many people do we need to monitor all the AI? Right? If I can automate 10 people's jobs, do I need 10 people monitoring that automation, or do I need one person, two, three, something less than the full number? We should focus more on AI's likelihood to worsen current problems in society than the possibility of it creating new ones. So, on one hand, I agree with the idea that we should be focusing on AI's likelihood to worsen current problems. I agree with that, right? Like we're already seeing it. We're already seeing it. People using it in ways that are just exacerbating things like healthcare issues and legal issues and everything else. But and I don't know when y'all started doing this and it's annoying as shit. But people really seem to think these days, back in my day, these days that like we can't do more than one thing at a time. And I don't know why we got there and how we got there. You can do more than one thing. Right? We can both be concerned about the likelihood of AI worsening current problems and the possibilities of it creating new ones in the future. If you wait If you wait to consider the possibilities of the new problems that might exist in the future, guess what? Now you're not prepared, dumbass. It's infuriating. Can't we do more than one thing at a time? I can. I'm gonna use a terrible analogy, right? If I only put food in my fridge when I am going to use that food immediately, then later on, after I've eaten all the food in my fridge, there won't be food in the fridge. So I have to both prepare for today's meals and prepare for tomorrow's meals. Two things at once. Cars are dangerous because they might crash or hurt someone, so stop developing all cars. They pollute too. We must stop. Absolutely. Everyone, because cars suck and buses and trains are obviously the superior choice, everyone today should stop using cars and only use the bus and the train. And if the bus and the train is not convenient enough to actually do the things that you need it to do, well, that's your problem. Be surprised. I have to train everyone at my work. I would say 25% of employees can't multitask. Well, that's an additional. Well, no, I actually wouldn't be surprised, Ben. This is actually my complaint. Yeah, if we get more public transit, but that's a future issue, right? You have to work towards that issue. You have to find the monies to make the public transit happen. And you have to make the public transit more efficient before you can get rid of the cars. Otherwise, fuck the everything. Because you don't have a bus that goes directly by your house. AI supercharges capitalism. True. It has the capacity to either help or hurt inequality, labor markets, the free press, and democratic backsliding, depending on how it's deployed. Yes. There's one alarming deployment of AI that the authors leave out. Why? Why would they leave something out? I don't know. Maybe because they've consistently shown themselves to be full of shit and attempting to exploit a certain niche of the conversation for their own benefit rather than actually bringing stuff to the conversation. Again, go watch my coverage of the conversation between Adam Conover and these two people on their AI snake oil and the bullshit that they ran on him, and he just lapped it all up. Fucking guy. One of the biggest implications of there's one alarming deployment of AI that the authors leave out, though. The use of AI by militaries. Absolutely. Terrible idea. Hate everything about it. Nothing's going to happen. We are not doing not Zitron. It was the episode in between episodes of Zitron. That of course is picking up rapidly, raising alarms that life or death decisions are increasingly being aided by AI. The authors exclude that use from their essay because it's hard to analyze without access to classified information. But they say the research on the subject is forthcoming. I'm sure. It's actually not. It's actually not. Proliferation of automated weapon technology is going to lead to a condition because all you have to do is just look at the nature of the way that war has developed within the past 20, 30 years, right? You have like okay, here's a great example. The Iraq War, George Bush the first of his name, and the way that that war went down, right? The fact that that the United States military was able to use their superior technology in certain arenas that allowed them to run roughshod over the Iraqi army. There's a bunch more to that, but we're confining ourselves to the technology aspect, right? You could have, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like what your capabilities are if like the enemy has total air superiority because they spent the first X amount of time completely wiping out your air defenses, right? Because that allows you to deploy air assets in a variety of different stages and theaters, both in supply and weapons deployment and things like that, right? So the or I'm sorry, I'm confusing this with Gulf War II, Electric Boogaloo with George Bush II, right? The 100 Days. Remember the 100 Days? 100 Days where they just absolutely wiped out all of Iraq's air defenses, right? Which gave them total freedom to deploy their assets all over Iraq. It led to conditions like the highway of death, right? Where they were able to apply air assets to a retreating convoy and wipe it the fuck out. That's the kind of development of technology that you're going to continue to see. It's already happening and you're going to continue to see, because instead of assigning a pilot who has biological necessities that will require him or them to return to base, these things can go up on standby in a low power mode and wait for an opportunity to strike. They also can be much smaller, right? Imagine the highway of death, but a fleet of drones, where instead of precision munitions with laser guided bullshit, you just have these drones as being shown, like the Ukraine war, right? A lot of technology is being developed that's coming out of the Ukraine war. These drones, you could just deploy a fleet of drones and one dude. You want to talk about automation leading to job loss, right? As opposed to a captain or a colonel or what have you, and his bunch of subordinates and soldiers and everything else. Well, shit, I got 1, 2 guys and goddamn fleet of drones coming out of a box, and they just go and they attach themselves to the weakest point. They analyze the vehicle. They know what kind of vehicle it is. We know where the thinnest portion of the armor on that vehicle is. The drone attaches itself to that portion of the vehicle and then detonates. U.S. is working on or actually using one jet with a pilot accompanied by a wing of drones. Absolutely. And then and that's only because of the human in the loop doctrine, right? Eventually we're going to get to getting the humans out of the loops. China's latest 6th gen fighter was just photographed without a cockpit bump at all. And this is why it's not going to stop, right? Because the competitive nature of geopolitical interests is going to, well, yeah, maybe we could all agree that we're not going to use AI, but as long as one person is using AI and automation in their weapon system, guess what? And then it becomes a matter of speed. And that's what's going to drop the human out of the loop, right? Or move the human farther and farther back down the loop, right? At the moment, allegedly, we're talking about that the AI, that you're going to push a button to give permission for the robot to kill someone. Then you're going to kind of abstract that to like, okay, as soon as we deploy this system, it's authorized to kill people. And then you're going to abstract, and it's, okay, as soon as we start this battle, it's authorized to kill people. As soon as we start this war, it's authorized to kill people. Now we're designating certain areas at certain points in time, hostile fire zones. And if you go into that zone, well, then the AI is going to kill you. The only way to prevent that kind of thing is a treaty. The problem is that no one has the authority to enforce the treaty anymore. And we done did that, like something Gaza, something international court, something international law doesn't matter anymore. Motherfuck me up one side and down the other. One of the biggest implications of treating AI as normal is that it would upend the position that both the Biden administration and now the Trump White House have taken, building the best AIs. I hate it here. I do. Building the best AI is a national security priority, and the federal government should take a range of actions, limiting what chips can be exported to China, dedicating more energy to data centers. To make that happen, in their paper, the two authors refer to U.S.-China AI arms race rhetoric as shrill. Jesus fucking. The arms race framing verges on absurd. Is it your first day here? The knowledge it takes to build powerful AI models spreads quickly and is already being undertaken by researchers around the world, he says, and it's not feasible to keep secrets at that scale. Yeah. Sorry, Cosmic. I'll figure it out someday. So what policies do the authors propose? Rather than planning around sci-fi fears, Kapoor talks about strengthening democratic institutions, increasing technical expertise in government, improving AI literacy, and incentivizing defenders to adopt AI. Sure, all that sounds great. How do you incentivize that behavior? Speaking of Ed Zitron, since I know he's your favorite, I left you a present in the Discord. I don't feel like it's a present. I feel like it's a present in like a flaming bag of shit on my porch. Not sure you will ever read it on stream, but if you ever feel the need to claw your eyes out, it's there for you. See, I was right. Waiting in the wind, longing for your eyes to gaze upon it. Go forth if you dare. You're having too much fun. You're having too much fun, Michael. I really have created a monster. By contrast to policies aimed at controlling AI superintelligence or winning the arms race, these recommendations sound totally boring. That's kind of the point. Yeah. But again, how do you incentivize this behavior? Strengthening democratic institutions. Who? How? We're eroding democratic institutions. I mean, you can make arguments as to when we started eroding democratic institutions around the world, but right now, the democratic institutions are looking shaky at best. The people who could strengthen those democratic institutions have no interest in doing so. Increasing the technical expertise in government. We ain't doing that. Doge me up one side and down the other. Improving AI literacy. That'd be great. I'm doing my part. And incentivizing defenders to adopt AI. I don't know who the defenders are. I don't know what that means. But sure, I'll give you that one. How's that sound? 2 articles in 47 minutes. Doing great. Slight derail. Sure, why not? Is there a level above 70 for your mushroom sponsorship? Hey, thank you. Hold on. The answer to your first question is yes.
Everything is going extremely well.
Extremely well. Love will tear us apart again. And I got to do the mushroom stream. Okay, so after level 70, it's level 95, and after level 95, it's level 105, and it peaks at level 105. Am I going past noon today? I am not going past noon today, but I will be back at 5 p.m. to do the videos. Excuse me, all times Eastern. Google launches AI tools for practicing language. We were talking about languages yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I got this one in. Google launches AI tools for practicing languages through personalized lessons. Also, it might benefit you to learn some Mandarin. Google on Tuesday is releasing, that's today, or that's yesterday, sorry, is releasing 3 new AI experiments aimed at helping people learn to speak a new language in a more personalized way. While the experiments are still in the early stages, it's possible that the company is looking to take on Duolingo. And remember, Duolingo is trying to AI the shit out of their shit. With the help of Gemini, Google's multimodal large language model. The first experiment helps you quickly learn specific phrases you need in the moment, while the second experiment helps you sound less formal and more like a local. The third experiment allows you to use your camera to learn new words based on your surroundings. Google notes that one of the most frustrating parts of learning a new language is when you find yourself in a situation where you need a specific phrase that you haven't learned yet. Donde está el baño? With the new tiny lesson experiment, you can describe a situation such as finding a lost passport to receive vocabulary and grammar tips tailored to the context. You can also get suggestions for responses like, I don't know where I lost it, or I want to report it to the police. The next experiment, Slang Hang, is a choice you could make, wants to help people sound less like a textbook when speaking a new language. Google says when you learn a new language, you often learn to speak formally, which is why it's experimenting with a way to teach people to speak more colloquially and with local slang. With this feature, you can generate a realistic conversation between 2 native speakers and see how the dialogue unfolds one message at a time. One of my favorite moments, I was in an elevator with a couple of people that I worked with, and a couple of Latinas, and they were having a conversation behind me in Espanol. And they said something, and I laughed because I'm not fluent, but I understand some, and I understood the right amount, and it was like a whole new world. It's like, oh shit, Globus knows things. For example, you can learn through a conversation where a street vendor is chatting with a customer, or a situation where 2 long lost friends reunite on the subway. You can hover over terms you're not familiar with to learn about what they mean and how they're used. Google says the experiment occasionally misuses certain slang and makes up words, so users need to cross-reference them with reliable sources. The third experiment, WordCam, lets you snap a photo of your surroundings, after which Gemini will detect objects and label them in the language you're learning. The feature also gives you additional words that you can use to describe the objects. Google says that sometimes you just need words for the things in front of you because it can show you how much you just don't know yet. For instance, you may know the word for window, but you might not know the word for blinds. The company notes that the idea behind these experiments is to see how AI can be used to make independent learning more dynamic and personalized. The new experiments support the following languages: Arabic, Chinese, China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan; English, Australia, UK, and US; French, Canada, and France; German, Greek, Hebrew, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Brazil, and Portugal; Russian, Spanish, Latin America, and Spain; and Turkish. And the tools can be accessed via Google Labs. Another, Google is a evil, faceless corporation like them all. Does give us some good toys to play with. So take this as an inflection point. Love will tear us apart again. All right, inflection point. Well, I mean, to be fair, like if I say the boot, I mean, I know what a boot is in both American and what up, Torchy? I know what a boot is in both American and English, right? Like UK English, right? A boot in American is probably going to refer to the thing that goes on my foot, or it could be like a rubber piece that goes on on your roof underneath the shingles to create a seal around the pipe. A boot in England could refer to those things potentially, but also the trunk of your car. So you do have to separate, like if I'm going to take the lift, that's different than taking the elevator. But inflection point. Let's tighten up and try to get some more work done here. Waymo and Toyota strike partnership to bring self-driving tech to personal vehicles. Alphabet-owned Waymo and Toyota on Tuesday announced a preliminary partnership to explore bringing robotaxi tech to personally owned vehicles. The companies will explore how to leverage Waymo's autonomous technology and Toyota's vehicle expertise to enhance next-generation personally owned vehicles. The companies said they aim to use the partnership to more quickly develop driver assistance and autonomous vehicles technology for personal vehicles. Toyota is the world's largest automaker by sales. What up, X1011? Huge if true. Waymo co-CEO Takedra Mawakana said the strategic partnership could also result in the Google-owned company incorporating Toyota's vehicles into our ride-hauling fleet, which would, I'm given to understand that a lot of these are like Jaguars and more expensive cars. So making the Waymo cars more affordable also increases their level of deployment. The Toyota tie-up is the latest automotive partnership for Waymo. Self-driving company has previously worked with automakers such as Jaguar Land Rover, Stellantis predecessor Fiat Chrysler, Daimler Trucks, and Mercedes-Benz parent Daimler, and Hyundai Motors, and China's Geely. The partnerships, many of which touted long-term tie-ups, largely resulted in automakers producing modified vehicles for testing or for Waymo to use in its fleet. What up, Little Ween? Who is Tampy? Stampy. Stampy is the cat. The cat is not here. The cat got his snacks and walked away. Thank you. Hello, Will likes Fortnite. Are we doing a thing? Are we doing a thing? Two people who just joined Twitch 3 hours ago came to see me. Amazing. Amazing. I am the #1 AI news and commentary show on Twitch. So, let's bust this out real quick. Strawberries in the sky, how AI is changing the way farmers grow food year round. Plenty Richmond Farms in Chesterfield, the VA, is getting a lot of attention these days, and for good reason. It's doing something that's never been done in a place you might not expect, an industrial park warehouse. Should you use AI to make anime? Sure. I would say yes. I also wish you had more money to send me. Inside, you'll see row after row of strawberries hanging from 30-foot towers suspended from the ceiling. Orange Squirrel, while most vertical farms are made up of stacked horizontal systems, Plenty Richmond Farm is growing the produce on movable vertical towers nearly 2 stories high. Not only does it look futuristic, this innovative approach uses 97% less land and up to 90% less water than conventional farming. If you're watching on PC, you just click the button. And it's noon, so I have to go. But there is vertical farming in strawberries. Just going to get rid of your address there because it's a TOS violation. I don't believe you, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right. I mean, it's a whole thing. Nobody, again, remember, I deleted your messages to get rid of the, you put up your address or an address, right? Anyways. I appreciate everyone who came through. We're having a wonderful time. This sending these two over to James is going to be a whole thing. So I wish you the best of luck, kids. I will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime,
everything is going extremely well.
And now you get one of those. In the meantime, drink your water, eat some food, take your meds if you forgot. Always remember, Sharky loves you. So do I. Be great.